I'm so happy I rolled you, Astolfo.
I'm happy too, Master. You know Astolfo's a dude, right?
That Greek nigga! Give me a bundle!
Hey everybody, it's Janice, the only anime manga YouTuber that doesn't have trash taste. From the title of this video, you can guess that we will be discussing one of my favorite topics, that being traps. See, there's this new manga I've been reading called Kimi Dake Ga Hontou. It's a teenage romance drama that features one of my favorite tropes in anime and manga: incest. What I meant to say is twin love interest. Now, it's not your typical lovey-dovey or gimmicky trap romance series where the main character is an open or closet homosexual that gets flustered a lot. Nor is the trap love interest just someone whose only personality trait is being a crossdresser. The premise of this manga is that the main character, Rikimaru, is unable to touch women due to childhood trauma. He has a pair of childhood friends who are siblings, the older sister Kagami and then the younger brother Kyou. Between the two of them, they share a similar height and appearance. Under the circumstances, a unique twin love romance begins to bloom. At the beginning, it is established that Rikimaru and Kagami are dating, but due to Rikimaru's fear of touching women, he has not gone very close to Kagami, and this has caused some tension. Rikimaru is uncomfortable with this whole situation and wants to find a way to overcome his fears. Kyou, the twin brother, senses this and begins making his move. He starts cross-dressing, pretending to be a sister with Rikimaru in order to help his friend get over his fear of touching girls, but he really just wants Rikimaru all to himself. Basically, this cute twink wants to suck off his sister's boyfriend. There's something about this manga that really captivated me. The art style is neat, almost reminds me of some doujins I've seen. The story is interesting, even though it only has 7 chapters so far. You can already see some drama that gets you invested in this. But more than the art or the story, it's the characters and their personality and mindsets that really drew me in. Something that a lot of other manga in this genre don't really do for me.
A quick disclaimer for this video. Before we discuss other manga of this particular genre, I would like to thank the LGBT community for existing and making these wonderful stories of true love and struggle possible. I am a proud ally and would like to promote my friend who needs hormone replacement therapy. Is that like some thyroid issue or something? Well, he needs funding to begin his transition.
She needs funding to begin her transition.
What?
Well, it's a male to female, so you need to refer to them as she.
Please don't cancel me.
All proceeds go to my Patreon, of course. Link in the description below. Okay, now that can't be cancelled for being a homophobe or transphobe. Let's get back on topic. Romance in anime and manga has always been a staple genre that many have come to love. Over the years, the genre has seen new and interesting tropes that keep reinventing itself into something more complex and nuanced. Though many times the same old trope will be repeated to great effect because some people are just looking for the same old story, but every once in a while you get a major breakthrough that defines a whole new type of romance story in the industry. Alright, now let's talk about love between men. Most BL manga, also known as boys love, or ones that feature traps as main characters, frankly suck, and not in the way you're thinking. Let's be honest here. Most of these series are written by either a woman or a woman. In both cases, the mental illnesses of the author make it hard for a straight guy, such as myself, to relate. But I understand everyone has different taste. Now, I'm not the biggest connoisseur of BL type series, and if you are, then I'm not going to judge you. I will just ask that you take a shower every once in a while. But there is a particular type I am interested in, which most might know as traps or otokonoko, which just means boy, but in certain contexts can mean cross-dressing boy. I'm not fluent in Nihongo, I don't claim to be, I just do Duolingo lessons. There are some romance stories that feature a trap as the main love interest, and as I've mentioned before, most of them are written poorly. Too many of them still see the whole trap thing as just a gimmick to get people to read, but without good characters or an interesting story, your series will just fall flat and readers will get bored. That's why you see hundreds of different isekai manga online, but there's only a few that are actually popular or get regularly updated. There's also the opposite, where they are too in-depth about being a trap or what it means to be a cross-dressing male in society and the motivations behind them. And these mostly deal with the ideas of gender identity and conforming to gender norms in society.
女より女らしい美少女。だが男だ。
Now, I'm not against expressing the creative narrative of gender identity, but I'm respectfully going to say that the type of story I'm interested in is not those types of stories. Also, since Japan is on a completely different wavelength when discussing LGBT characters or just even openly homosexual characters, I feel like it can be quite different or even off-putting for a Western audience to see their interpretations of such characters. In most series that feature cross-dressing, their sexual or gender identity never really comes up. Cute characters like cute things, and that's the end of it, which might leave some people feeling that a character's motivation might be lacking in some sense. There are some series that take these issues more seriously, if that is what some of you are interested in. Just remember that I am not qualified to speak on such issues. I'm an ally, of course. I'm just looking for a balance between a cute cross-dressing boy and a good story. And that's where Kimi Dake Ga Hontou has something that these other trap romance stories don't, which is substance. There's suspense, some family drama, tension between characters, foreshadowing, conflicting goals, and yes, some fan service. Yes, the main love interest that happens to be a cross-dressing male does express some contemplation on what gender is and how he does not feel like conforming to societal norms, and he clearly expresses that he's into men. But the main motivation behind these is not what you think. If two dudes being into each other wasn't such a taboo thing, he probably wouldn't feel the need to put on a skirt and suck his friend's meat stick while pretending to be his sister. But at a young age, it was pounded into his head that only boys and girls could fall in love, so there's the confusion in his mind. Now, this idea of romance between boys and girls was also pounded into his twin sister's mind, and this is where a lot of the drama comes from. As mentioned beforehand, the plot of the story is that Rikimaru is childhood friends with his neighbors who are twin brother and sister, and both of them want to suck on his $5 footlong. At first, the sister Kagami thought Rikimaru and Kyou were gay, and she was half right. Kyou, on the other hand, is secretly jealous of Kagami and Rikimaru's relationship and tries to insert himself between them. This reaches a boiling point where Kagami decides to break up with Rikimaru. In her mind, this would help reset their relationship so Rikimaru can overcome his fears of touching women. Kyou knows of this and basically told his sister that Rikimaru is free game. We see two different flashbacks. The first one is from Kagami's perspective. She's in grade school with her brother where she wants to give chocolates to her crush. We see that Kyou is a popular kid that looks out for his sister. She wants to be more like her brother personality-wise, but she witnesses that same day she was about to give chocolate to her crush that Kyou kissed the boy she liked. This is where her frustration with her brother and Rikimaru stem from. She says, "Is this the only thing we have in common?" when they both end up liking the same guy. In the second flashback, we see things from Kyou's perspective, how unfair the world is when he has to apologize for kissing the person he loved. We see that after the classroom hears of Kyou kissing another boy, he is met with cold, distant gazes from the rest of his class. His father is actually very supportive of his son throughout all of this, so it's nice to see a good father figure for once. Usually your dad would have a different response if he heard his son was gay, but this is a work of fiction after all. The main takeaway from Kyou's flashback is that he realized his sister still holds a grudge to him for trying to get with her crush all those years ago. This all culminates to Kyou confessing his true feelings to Rikimaru, and for those of you who aren't aware, yes, this confession is a title drop. Kimi Dake Ga Hontou means something along the lines of, "I'm the only one who really," and here Kyou says, "I'm the only one who really loves you." It's hinted so far that Kagami, the twin sister, has some borderline or possessive personality traits, so whether this is further explored and becomes a major plot point is yet to be seen. There was a scene where Kagami thought Rikimaru was gay for Kyou, and her response was to throw her phone as hard as she could at Rikimaru so he doesn't get closer to Kyou. At first you see that she's being possessive towards her boyfriend, and after learning about the twins' backstory, you can see that she had a history of getting her man stolen from her brother. Yet, despite all that, Kyou still chases after Rikimaru, knowing how his sister feels. You can see the conflicting motivations of all the characters. They are teenagers trying to live a happy high school life, but their emotions and past have created this tension between all of them. I even enjoy that Rikimaru might seem like a boring main character at first, but because of his serious nature, he has to confront some uncomfortable situations that even he is at a loss for. The reason for him not being able to touch women is due to his trauma of encountering the woman that his father cheated on his mom with. It left him with such a deep impression of hatred for his father that he projects onto himself because he's his son. Even after revealing this to Kagami and Kyou, he's still unable to get over it, to the point where he became extremely nauseous and vomited when he tried holding Kagami's hand, and then Kyou kissed him on the mouth afterwards, which is really disgusting, but hey, we don't kink shame here. The drama might feel forced in some context, but I think it's actually a good example of teenage angst. You want to get along with everyone, but you don't want to bring up your own problems. You don't even know what your friend is thinking, and sometimes those closest to you are the ones that hurt you the most. Sometimes your bro wants to give you a bro job, and you don't know if he will say no homo or not. It's these worries that plague the characters' minds, and I think that's why this series caught my attention so much. You have characters who are close, but their goals directly put them into conflict. The internal struggle of one of the main characters is due to societal issues that is addressed in a serious manner instead of being swept under the rug. The normally dense main character is forced to address the concerns of both the love interest, and his usually strong will is broken because of his own trauma. I won't lie, what got me into this manga was the cute trap on the cover. But now, after seeing the characters and how the story is playing out, I'm reading it for the plot. And of course, the story is great as well. Definitely a series to look out for. Thank you everyone for watching my videos. Recently this channel hit 1,000 subscribers, so feels good that my genius is starting to get recognized. If you aren't already subbed, then go hit that subscribe button, like this video, leave a comment down below. If I hit 10k subs, then maybe I can become a full-time content creator like my Oshi and be homeless in Japan. Thanks.